Well, hello, Super Robot fans. Welcome back to this entry into the archives. My name's Austin, and we're going to be playing some more Alpha today. Oh boy, it's going to be a doozy. I obviously don't know if these are going to get split up yet, because I'm just playing it right now. But I wonder if we're going to have another two-parter. I think this has been the longest narrative opening that I have seen throughout any of these chapters, and it seems like we are sort of getting a lot of forces together to fight. So I wonder, we might have a really dense battlefield this time. I know that there's better part placement. I know. I'm just kind of not gonna worry about it. I don't want to fuss a lot about parts right now when they're not gonna probably be here for a while. And it seems like there's some force deploys, so there's that too. I did move our best parts, our best mobility parts. Oh, I moved it, but I didn't save it. We'll do it right now. I'm going to put Haros on the Double Zeta and the new Gundam. From reading the chapter's story, it sounds like Judo and Amuro are force deployed. So let's give them their best mobility parts they can, and we'll let everything else just sort of be where it is. I know I could figure better, but it doesn't feel like this game even rewards bothering to, so like, why am I going to? Okay. We are in the Big Fire base to start, and all of the, what is their name? Magnificent 10? Yeah, the Magnificent 10 are distressed at the trajectory of whatever Big Fire's plan has been. And who is the one that is Kome? Kome is this guy. I'm pretty sure that's Kome, right? Oh no, which one is that? No, sorry, the man on the right now, the one with the goatee. Well, they both kind of have goatees. See, as much as I love Giant Robo, there's a couple of these characters that really bleed together in my head. Some people from the Hero team do it too, where they're like, there's similarities. But no, sorry, the man on the right, Kome. He is the mouthpiece for Big Fire. Big Fire, not the name of the organization, but the name of the head member of Big Fire, Big Fire. And they're talking about like all of the plans that have transpired, which is like in a brief summary that Dr. Hell has used their bases to manufacture giant robots that they don't actually seem to have control of. They're sort of letting Londo Bell do whatever they want. One of their members, Fitzcarraldo, it wasn't Fitzcarraldo who was sacrificed. Cervantes was sacrificed. Sorry, their names also do not stick in my head. Not the least of which being that I think their names are said more often in this game than they are in the original show. Like Cervantes is around for I think like 10 minutes. Sorry, no, Cervantes, the one from the G2. He was sacrificed seemingly for no apparent reason, and everyone else on Big Fire keeps being told to like stand down and not fight because Kome is like waiting and watching that he sees the ripples in the water of the lake that is the course of this battlefield, and they must throw but one single stone at some point to let the ripples echo in their direction when they want it, and everyone else is just really frustrated by it. So there's that. Don't really do much else with that. How Big Fire is going to work is going to be interesting in a second. We're the Volta's dad, Kentaro, is going to sort of spell out what our plot is, like what the conflict is at present in a minute. For which I'm very glad, and his counting seems a little bit off to me. Okay, so Isamu takes the place of one of the two. There are two guys, Tetsugyu, and I don't remember the other one's name. I don't remember the other guy's name. From Giant Robo, and Isamu is taking their place right now. That he's like been flirting it up with Genrei, and like it has been asking her to like go see the stars or just like doing a couple of things that are sort of romantic. He's doing it preemptively knowing that a big fight's coming up, and she's like, bud, we got a sortie in like we got a conversation in 30 minutes. What are you doing? We got to get ready. And then the other guys are like, Shinji, being the buzzkill right now that he is like, my guy, you have no shot with him. And he's like, no, it's fine. Everything's totally fine. You know what? You want to go out for tea then? And then all the boys are like, ooh, weird. Are you guys out on a date? In the way that only teenage boys or younger are able to accomplish. And he's like, no, you could go to tea with your friends too. And they're like, is the time to go to tea with your friends because you got dumped? And then we don't follow back up on that. Really, really important stuff we're talking about at the same time as we are discussing like global conquest or the splitting of spaces. So Bright and Ciela just offhandedly mentioned that the forces from Byston Wells got some back home. That's totally fine. So I guess that was the middle route split. If we went with more of the Dunbine plot, I guess we're finished with it then. I guess that means we beat Drake, because he definitely can't be factored into the numbers that Kentaro is going to use in this scene right here. It just would not make sense. So I think their plot is done, I guess. Okay. So Dr. Kentaro spells everything out. I guess first he mentions his alien heritage, but then because of that, he has familiarity with the Arrogators or the Zebalmari. I don't know where the R's and the L's are supposed to be in that, but if you've played the game before or you played these games before, you know who I'm talking about. I don't know if we've heard that name from OGs yet, but I'm guessing those are probably the people that everyone on the Star, the people that Atad and Levy were taking orders from. But these are my words, not the translations. Are kind of Mongolian in their way. They are just like going around the galaxy and sort of incorporating as many different civilizations as possible, like incorporating their fighting styles, their tech, their people, and using them to continue to wage war and like do more of that as they expand throughout the galaxy. So we have then a very direct conflict between them and the Zentradi Maltrandi, which Kentaro speculates were made specifically to fight them. But at some point he mentions that there are 6 forces. I don't know if he's counting the Arrogators or not. And I don't know if he's counting the Zentradi or Maltrandi or not. Like, I don't know if it was like, these are the 2 that are like sort of deciding the fate of the universe, and then there are 6 other forces opposed to them. But no matter what, the math still comes out badly. Because we also have the Campbellians and the Boazins, and they're kind of also victims of the situation. They are just sort of being absorbed as much as the Earth is trying to be absorbed. And they are just retaliating as best as they can, and they are sort of like, some of them are thrashing about in a way that is causing a lot of harm to the Earth, but they're not really like, it's not that they're not aware of it, but a lot of their actions are dictated more by the response to needing to fight the Arrogators and like experiencing their world being absorbed, more so than it's like a very deliberate attack. So that's the Boazin, the Campbellians are 2 forces. Then we have the Zentradi Maltrandi, which should definitely be 1 force. Then we have the Arrogators. Then there's also the giant space aliens, which are maybe one of the reasons why, which also could be one of the reasons why the Zentradi Maltrandi were made, was like specifically to fight them too. And regardless of which, once that topic gets introduced, Kentaro suggests that maybe also that is why the Zentradi Maltrandi are as opposed to the Arrogators as they are, and why they're sort of the like big superpowers of the planet, or of the solar system. They seem to lack culture entirely. That their only like MO is annihilation of the enemy. They don't have any sophisticated way of being. And anything intelligent seems to be like a target for them, which is also how we've described the space aliens before. So maybe my translation has like swapped an antecedent or 2 around. Or maybe we're supposed to be paralleling the fact that like these 2 forces look very different. One of them seems very human and constructed. One of them seems very organic and very naturalistic. And yet they still kind of respond the same way. Because like from what I've seen out of the Zentradi, that seems largely speaking correct. But that's also why the Irrigator's not interested in them, because there's nothing to incorporate. Like, there is no new information here. There are no new styles here. There is just pure id. And that does not seem... Or pure ego. I went into that sentence very confident I remembered what the 3 different parts of the brain were, and I do not remember them now. I know, like, how... Yeah, but the enemy forces are very... like, antagonistic to the philosophy of the Irrigators, therefore we have to be physically antagonistic too. But that's already 5. That doesn't count our forces, and that doesn't count, which I suspect perhaps Kentaro was not talking about. I think the text made it more clear that he was talking about enemy forces, that there's like 6 enemies that we as a group are opposed to. But that doesn't count any of the human forces. We have the Jupiterians, which is a combination of like the wing enemies and also Relina. And like Papima Shirako's forces. We also have the Titans, and we also have Zeon. But I think we've kind of lumped them all together for the purposes of this exercise of counting, because they're like all kind of Earth. So as far as like, I think Kentaro is describing them in the way that the Irrigators would see the world. And as far as the Irrigators see things, probably all of those are humans, and all those are Earth humans. They're all kind of work the same way. Like, whether they get a Zeon new type, or they get an Alondo Bell new type, or they get an SRX Project Esper, they're kind of all do the same thing for the Irrigators, and they kind of want as many of them as they can get, regardless of which side they're on. So I do see where maybe we're getting that number. But then also Big Fire is just not involved here at all. So there was a lot more numbers than right, sorry. And then we also still have the forces of Dr. Hell. So if we have the forces of Dr. Hell, even if we're counting all of Earth together, that's still 7. Right? There's it's still 7. And if we divide them out a little bit more to be more thorough, then it's I don't know. We're going to be a little bit behind in conversation, but that's fine. So the next thing that the team talks about is then why is the Macross so special? Because a lot of the things we're describing, these like really modern giant robots, everyone that has like psychic or telekinetic powers, they are, of which I'm not sure if the Raideen has ever been counted in that. They always talk about new types and espers, and I don't know if we've qualified Akira as an esper. Usually it's about like the SRX project or like the main character that you picked. I don't know if they are interested in the Raideen because it's so old. Because one of the conflicts that we have right here is, why is everyone so interested in the Macross then? Because the Macross is like 100 years out of date. And the more brainiacs of the group speculate that it has a lot more to do with not just the technology, but the materials. That it's made out of tronium, and tronium is still really highly valuable in this like cosmic setting right now. And it has a really high density of it because it's just so heckin' large. So that is the more desirable part of it, rather than it's like actual literal fighting force. And in discussing that, they are talking about like why in particular those things are valuable. And the topic of the Angel Halo, the large orbiting satellite that everyone keeps talking about behind the moon, comes up. And many of the non-new type Gundam pilots are like, so Bud, what do you want us to do about this? Like, we're not psychic. We can't fight this. And some of the older generals are like, do you not understand what's happening? You're going to have an easier time fighting it because you don't have to potentially risk being mind controlled every time you go near it to fire a single shot. So, like, that's cool. That's interesting. I'm glad we're finding a way to make the people who, like, theoretically in their own universes are mechanically less savvy actually be relevant for us. Let's see what our forces are. Yeah, we're pretty unit dense. Okay. Hold on. Let's skip ahead for a second to what's going on here. Okay, yeah, so Giran is talking about the space laser, which we are going after, which is what our group is going after right now. It is stationed around Abawaku. So we're kind of doing the end of 007. We're squeezing together the end of 0079 really quickly. On top of, I think, probably also the Zeta Gundam Grips conflict. And I guess also the Double Zeta conflict, because he was talking to Glebby Toto, and he was sending Glebby out to protect it. So yeah, I guess we're shoving together all three of the like big name UC Gundams. But so our group is targeting the Space Laser. They are debating whether or not they should divide their forces between the Angel Halo and the Space Laser. And a number of people think that they should not bother with the Space Laser because, like, ultimately that's not their, like, end goal. And then another CAD of the group is like, no, we should really target the Space Laser because, like, we're already in position to fight these things. Why would we not try to eliminate them at the same time when we have already so many other, it's so easy for them to cause war with this so many other times. We already have enough, like, power mobilized that we can fight this. Why would we not do that now? Just to try and, like, clear up the future. Like, this feels like the time to do this. So I think that's how our route split is going to happen in the two chapters from now. But we do have to attack the Space Laser because it's going to fire very soon. So I don't know how we're going to finish that up. Actually, hold on. Yeah, it does still say the Axis route. So maybe we're not going to finish this capture this time. With this mission, that we need to go back and sort of finish off the Zeon forces. But regardless, we're going to have to deal with the Space Laser at some point anyway. We also kind of can't have it firing, like, shooting us in the back while we are attempting to go and deal with the Angel Halo. And maybe we, like, potentially I could see us turning it against the Angel Halo as, like, a really easy way to knock it out. Okay, we have so many fewer deploys than I was expecting, which is kind of why I wanted to be... which is kind of why I wanted to be judicious about how we were spreading resources out. Okay, fascinating. So, we're definitely going to bring Bullet. I want to bring the Combattler and the Voltace. We've been using them pretty... I feel like now's the time to lock in and do something different, though. We definitely want to bring the Don Cougar. We definitely want to bring the Gunbuster. Maybe we don't take the Sizzler Black anymore. We need Ginray. We also deeply need the Zeta Gundam. There's a secret tied here. I thought we were going to get... I figured that the Gundam pilots were going to be force deployed, but no, it doesn't look like it. And I kind of want to bring the Vilbine because, golly, is it really dodgy. Why do we have so few deploys? Okay, let's go. This seems... Okay. Ciela is here in the Garand, which is how we're going to get split up. Oh, I see. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Then who else do we want to take? I guess we can pop these two in here. Not the Daitarn. Like, we can take the Sizzler Black. Let's go back to levels. We're not taking these three. I don't care about Isamu. We could take the Giant Robo also. We could take Marvel on this side too. She is still pretty dodgy. And then let's take another support unit. We have, I guess we've been leveling up the Venus. I think that is, largely speaking, fine. I do want a couple of units that have high mobility, so that's why I want the Bilbine involved somewhere in here. Or not high mobility, sorry, high movement, because we do have to complete this objective in 4 turns. 12 still seems like a really small amount. I was really expecting us to get a lot more than that. Yeah, so the Space Laser, we knew that the Zeons were going to fire off the Space Laser in short order. Now that we've gotten here, people did not realize it was going to be in, like, 4 minutes. So we have to hustle, and everyone is doing their, like, character description moment at each other to make sure everyone gets some time in the sun. Okay. So we need to talk about a lot of stuff. I guess here we can do this through the context of the objectives first. So, objective 1, we need to move someone to the colony laser within 4 turns, even though we put our cursor on Abawaku at the end of that. And then we also need to destroy all enemies. We'll look at where the colony laser is in a second. Then either of our battleships, Macross or the Grand Garan, if they're destroyed, we're out. Or if all of our allies are destroyed. So those are our 2 objectives. We do also have expert points this map. One of them is getting to the colony laser in 4 turns. So, neat. I wonder if the mirrors count. It's going to be really annoying if we have to get these things off of it, because these are some hefty boys. Also, Shalia Bullas in the Alpha Azeru is really funny. That's so odd. Glemmy's in the Queen Monster, that makes sense. And then Puru 2 is in the Psycho Gundam Mark II. Oh, also, I've been saying her name wrong the entire time. Now that I have like a better font. Okay, so if you've not had to read Japanese before, there are a couple of characters that are really hard to figure out if you have bad font, which is so and tsu and shi. They are the third character in Puru's name, the 2 small lines with 1 large curved line. That is a tsu, and then shi is that going horizontally instead, and then so and are that but with only 1 small line. And I thought it was Puru shi, and she was somehow like an abbreviation for like extra or other or 2 that I was like just not familiar with. But no, they're literally trying to say the word 2. It's Puru tsu. I did not realize that. But finally I can see that it's supposed to be a tsu instead of a she. If you've not suffered through like terrible fonts, you've got no idea how wretched it is trying to do that sometimes. And the fonts that Super Robot Wars uses are rough. Let me tell you, they are some of the hardest fonts I have had the displeasure of trying to translate. Did we crash? I hope we didn't crash. Okay, no, we're good. Just the way it like stopped moving when I hit that spirit was different. We could just I do kind of want to keep the Awaken now that we have it. We don't really need fortunes at this point. Who am I kidding? I feel like if we're going to do this, it's going to need to be done with the Dankugar. Though I don't know if we're not gonna get to this stuff in time. This is nuts. Okay, now knowing that Judo is not force deployed, we could theoretically give him we could give him like the GPO 3, maybe to get him some more movement. But if you're familiar with the Double Zeta plot, and B, how these games like to incorporate the Double Zeta plot, if Judo is here, he can pick up Puruto after some convincing. I never remember which one has more movement. That's 11. I believe the Tiger form has more movement. Okay, maybe these 2 can get there, but they're not gonna have enough they're not gonna have enough morale to actually do anything productive though. But we only have a timer on one thing. Every time I always want them to have movement, and they don't. We only have a timer on one element of that, and that's just getting to the colony laser in 4 turns. Okay, no, we'll be fine. We will be fine. The other SR point comes from a narrative choice we're going to need to make later on. It's another one of those just like say the right thing during a text prompt. And golly, is it worth a lot? So I do think they're sort of padding right now to make sure people have enough SR points if they want to be able to get any objectives at late game. Which on one hand I appreciate, but on the other it makes everything else we've been doing feel just a little bit less meaningful. Maybe Marvell should not be here. I'm a little worried about her now. I'm worried that was the wrong choice. We'll see. We have enough, like, high-quality units that even if she is a little bit, like, under-leveled, under-equipped, that I'm sure she can pick up, she can, like, clean up kills. I was just thinking we're fighting mobile suits, so odds are we want a better mobility unit to, like, counter exactly what they're doing. But it seems like, instead, what we are fighting is a lot of battleships. Okay, let's take a look at this Dovenwolf. I also think these are new units for us. I'm, like, playing this game a little bit like Pokemon, or I guess more aptly SR, or not, I'm playing a little more like SD Gundam, which is to say I'm trying to collect all of the units now to, like, make sure that I've got my art assets all set up. Oh, you know what? Because I brought the Combattler and the Voltes, I should have thought to take not an HP Restorer, but a SP, or an Energy Restorer. We can counter. Let's counter and see what happens. I don't know who else is in the Dovenwolves. I think Vakarn to Karn is probably our only unique Dovenwolf pilot. Yeah. There are a lot of named characters, as is one for most Gundam stages. That's totally fine. We want HP to repair anyway. I do think I'm getting my mechanically dense chapter. Yeah, like this chapter in R was like, you know, you needed to give it a little oomph to get it done. So my concern really is finishing off any of those boss units within time to get us onto the satellite, because I suspect the mirrors probably aren't going to count. Though I guess I'm worried about them because I'm looking at them and being like, oh, those are tanky and have named pilots in them. They probably have a lot of support defense, but not this game. We'll probably I'm adding some bias here. Okay, so I guess let's check first. Let's see how bad these Bawus are. You know, could be worse. We are gonna need a bullseye for that, but that's fine. Because this side matters less, this is not where our objective is. I think we fight these ones first to see if we can give any morale over to the other side. And you know what, hold on. Let's pick this Bawu just in case. The giant robo does have Excel if we need to, and then we can send it over to the colony laser pretty rapidly. Like, we might be able to give it a turn with the colony laser if we need to. If we see things are going south. Like, turn 3, we can get it in the middle of space, and then turn 4 can, like, maybe tag the left side of things. Okay, cool. I think I need to be a little bit less conservative also about my SP spending. I think we're not here to get money. Putting the beam field on him was such a good play. I think that's probably one of the parts that sort of like made for him. Okay, he has 8 movement. He can go up to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, he can actually kind of be anywhere on the colony laser on turn 4, so that's good. Let's divide you first. Let's get this healing in. And I'm sure we're not going to outrange those. Yeah, we're super not going to outrange those. Okay. We could just leave the Venus back here I guess, hold on. Wait, let's do this one too. Isn't it? Yeah, this one. Yeah, we don't even need to be. We don't even need the Venus to do it. Okay. I do think we're just gonna send these two in with a wall and a bullseye on. I know what I just said, but maybe we will give them some morale. They don't need them for attacks, but golly will they benefit from them for some damage. Okay, I think that's probably good. We could also, we never spend a confuse. Let's spend a confuse. I think these are going to be the turns that are going to matter the most for it. Okay. Burt Barrel. Yeah, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do the same thing with the Combattler. I suspect, based on some of the text that I was reading, that we are going to have some reinforcements show up. So I do kind of want to poke into where the battleships are in a pretty short order, so we don't have to deal with them while we're also dealing with the reinforcements at the same time. Like, the shelling from whatever their lasers are going to be is potentially a problem, especially if we need to get close with some of these supers. I guess the Dovin Wolves are going to pose a bit of a... Like, I do kind of want to, like, burst these down if we can help it. Because of how the damage formula works with, like, things in proximity. Okay, you know what? Marvell is better off than I thought she was going to be. It's just the movement that actually seems to be getting her. I don't remember if any of the fairies have any excel on them at any point. But there's a fun little analysis project for me to figure out how to spread, like, the Dunbine stuff out correctly. I do wonder also if we were supposed to spend some money on their post-movement attack. I don't know how much of a difference it would make. I guess we could, like, look at the average defense of a mobile suit here. You know, let's just compare it right now. This is 2,400 and this is 2,000. So, okay. So I will check against, I can check that math against 2,200, like what its like full upgrade is going to be. I guess I could also, like, if I was doing it more seriously, I would check it against both. Like, I would check it against each instance of it, but... do we need an Excel first? We don't need an Excel. Okay, that's good. We don't need another Confusion. Is there only one Bullseye? No, there are two Bullseyes here. This still does not break the Zeal if we want it. Then here is a Spirit. And here is a Spirit. That should do. We're not going to have the Venus move forward, though I think leaving the Venus here is probably going to be a detriment to her. So, 8 range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. Then let's just, like, I guess maroon the Venus in the middle of space so she can go to wherever we need her to. I have a sneaking suspicion that the side with the bosses might need her more. So maybe it's actually fine that we brought both, because... Oh, they don't have their wall on yet. Because the Combattler and the Voltace can largely handle healing on this left side, while we can actually have the, like, dedicated healers be on the right. Okay. I do want to weaken more of these. Like, that was intentional to not kill them, because if we already are set up fine with this side, we may as well give them as, like, many opportunities to, like, counter kill as possible. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's a Super Knights move down from the Sizzler Black. Okay. Oh, I forgot that she has SP Restore. Okay. She does have a Bullseye too, so we can probably get her a level. Is what I'm thinking. Though that SP Restore, I don't remember how it works. I might consult before I actually spend it to see if it's like the full team or if it's just the one pilot. Like, is it the really broken version or is it just the kind of broken version? Kuzuha has the Excel on her. Okay, we are right in the thick of it. Who else can get over there? The Gunbuster Turbo can't. This is actually really concerning. I guess, you know what, maybe it's a little bit less concerning because we don't need to do any of the other objectives. Like, we don't need to convince Puru with Judo yet at all. Let's give him, I want to move him as forward as possible. Let's give him his focus now. Hopefully that plus the Haro will keep him from getting God. But if we can just get the Koryu onto the colony laser to make sure we don't game over, I think we will be good. So let's give it the most chance that it can to get morale. We have a Bullseye. We do have a focus also on Bullet. I think let's just take I would rather the focus because that is also saving us a good, like, that's saving us from all 4 of these, from Yune and the 3 Mark IIs. I think we punch Yune first. Oh, it didn't even take, okay. I guess this is a, like, parameters thing. Let's hit Yune first. Because we might be able to, like, kill him between the combination of this and enemy phase. And I don't remember which side went first. Hopefully the left side goes first, and we can, like, maybe get some more passive morale from killing enemies on that side. Okay, yeah, no, he's turbo dead on enemy phase. Great, perfect. It's probably for the best they can't give themselves morale. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I know we talked about this, and I specifically did not ask to know. But if anyone can get in the Tiger Dragon King, if any of our starting characters have a spirit on them, like, is that maybe the canon couple for this game? It's gonna be such a nightmare trying to figure this thing out because if there's 16 different possibilities. It's 8 characters, and they can. Sorry, I'm really distracted by the background right now. The background's moving really slowly compared to the foreground. And I wasn't sure if there was something wrong with the emulator, but that's just because of how slow background space is moving. The Abawaku is moving the rate I was expecting. Okay, sorry. Yeah, but because they can be in both supers and reals, it's there's so much to figure out. Which I'm not upset about it necessarily. I feel like the game is not going to reward that level of scrutiny in the same way that some of the other games will. But the reason I really haven't started yet is once I finish Complete Box 2. I'm going to slowly work on Complete Box 3, and then I definitely want to work on OG's 1. Since it was at the forefront of my mind. And it's a largely pretty contained game. But also, I do want to wait till we finish Alpha to see where we're going, to see what we actually care about, you know? I guess we do want Melee more. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. Oh, we should have been checking over here for that stat growth thing that we talked about before. that like taking actions with a certain type of attack is gonna like boost your stats in that one. Nope, stop. Okay, sorry. We're gonna spend on, yeah, like I think this is our best option. Just in case some like weird, in case they have like a shield proc or something. Yeah, great. I guess also we can show this one off too. This opening is going a little bit better than I was expecting, but we've also been here for almost an hour, and I don't think we've dipped into the beginning of the scenario yet. Okay, yes, so while we are wrapping this stuff, while we're wrapping this turn up, we can talk about the story bits that I kind of had to skip over. When we were talking about the Angel Halo, Uso mentioned that his Assault Buster Victory Gundam maybe is going to be able to handle the Colony Laser. So I do wonder if we're like being sneakily told we're going to have to force deploy him in a couple of chapters. Should keep that in the back of my mind. As far as our Gundam pilots, Amuro tried to like appeal to Quattro's sense of duty and morality, and reminded him that given his position and what he said on the radio or on the broadcast, that like he has a responsibility to fight for all of humanity now, despite the fact that the Zeons are going to be on the other side of things. Which I initially read as Amuro like worried he's going to betray them, but no, I think the point was that like he knows Quattro can sort of go maniacal about the Zeon, and that like losing his way in order to sort of like pursue his revenge right now is much more to the detriment of Earth than it is ever going to be a benefit. So that was a good touch. I wish I saw more of that kind of stuff, and maybe the reason why I'm not noticing it is because there's a lot of the series in this I'm just not familiar with. Then when Glemmy and Giran were in the Abaku throne room, Glemmy mentions that Mikuve's forces are also part of this. So that's why I'm sort of trying to expect a reinforcement, that I do think Mikuve is going to show up later. And he has in tow, like he's like on the way, but they're like wondering why he's so slow, why he hasn't gotten there yet. So I don't know if that's going to be like a next scenario thing where we're going to like run into their forces after this, and like it's gonna be like a split across two scenarios as we're like going somewhere else, or he's gonna show up now. But he does have another battleship that does not have a recognizable friendly code to it. This is fine. We knew we weren't going to do much with these attacks this turn. We can just sort of face scan them. I guess we also don't want to kill Boruto. This is such an interesting head for the Psycho Gundam Mark II. Like, it's recognizably the Psycho Gundam Mark II, but it just feels so different compared to what I'm used to thinking of it. Like, it does have that, like, elongated, more, like, vertical slicing head instead of the Psycho Gundam Mark I having the very conventional Gundam head. But they like really drew forward its chin for this art style. I say it every time, but like I'm still so taken with the alpha art style. I was thinking about it a lot more today because I was trying to gather more of the art that we have. I was trying to like actually crop it down to like a usable format. Where was I? Right, yes. So yikes. Okay. Yeah, so Dr. Hal, Mikuve has another ally ship in tow. Quite possibly Dr. Hal, because he was manufacturing more weapons with Dr. Hal's facilities, which are actually Big Fire's facilities, because Dr. Hal was manufacturing things through Big Fire. So I don't know if Big Fire knows that's what Zeon's doing. We'll see. We'll see on. That was awful. But also, in order to sort of prompt you for the expert point, or the expert point, the secret objective, Judo does also tell Puru that he will go and rescue Puru too. I wonder at what point in these games it stops being that you have to sack Puru to get Puru too. Because like in some of the earlier ones, you can only keep one of them. One of them has to die. But like in R, you get to keep both, and it's like it sounds like in this one you get to keep both too. Okay. We're off to a fine start. That damage from Shalia Bull was spooky. Maybe I'm the only one that does not appropriately render Shalia Bull in the canon in my head. Okay. Wow, a propellant tank. Okay, we will show one of these off, then we can cut these animations. I do want to see how the Cupulae do. I guess we have one now. I think we got a lot of units from the route split, but there's just like too much to go over, especially if we're not going to use them. We've got like, I think we've got like 20 pages of units now or something. Like 18 or 20 or something. Oh no. I hope we get morale from landing a hit. That's really bad. I mean, it's not really bad. It's just a little bad. Oh, and that was the one we were going to do the most damage against because it was close to us, too. Yeah, okay. This is what happens when you don't get free morale. Okay. 2 turns. I guess first, let me see, do we have some trusts we can spend? How much are we actually going to use Chum? We could spend her trust now. Okay. I feel better about this. I want to go on the mirrors to see if this is going to count as being on the okay. Let's like examine this a little bit more, because that's still just outer space. But I want to go on the mirrors to see if that counts, because if not, we're going to be a bit in trouble. Yeah. We are only at 109. Okay, I think we need to... That's ultimately what I want to do. I think we need to do other things first, because I want to see who should be going on the mirrors. And... We're not going to get to 130, though. So it probably still should be the Koryu-O. And then we can split to have Bullet, like, clean up one of these. Like, we can take one of these just to get a little bit extra. Oh, he's at 119. And Kusawa's only at 109. Oh, we also... Oh, okay. It gives both of them the priority of being the main pilot. And it just recombines to it just combines to whichever main pilot you want to select on. Okay. What does the Andromeda? Okay, that's fine. So if we are here, does that change our... Oh, we can get onto a mirror without any movement. Okay. Yeah, but that's not actually doing what we want. So we do probably want to be in the Koryu-O, and the Ryoko-O can, like, clean one of these up. Okay. I guess actually we can just do one of these. I think let's do... We shouldn't do that now. We should figure out where everyone else can go first. Okay, hold on. We do have this 7 range attack here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they can only go to the Appa Zero. That's fine, though. They still have a target next turn. I don't know if they have a snipe or not. But this is still worth doing. They need a bullseye. We can handle that. Right? Yeah, we can. Okay. Okay, we're good. Here, but yeah, we have it. Oh, they do have a snipe too. So if we need it to be on Glemmy, because we've already started working on Glemmy, we can do that too. That's also kind of overkill, but they were going to need a bullseye regardless. We just need to, like, not ping off and do 10 damage, but they are also in aggressive beast mode, so I'm sure this will be fine. Okay. These things are worth a ton of money. Why was that worth so much more? That's something else I could stand to figure out, too. Oh, we can even have Judo talk to Puru now. Or not? Hold on. Have Judo persuade Puru too. She doesn't want to listen to someone who's causing unhappiness, but he asks her if she's rather be Glemmy's doll. Does it have to be in mobile suit form? Do they have to fight once first? Sometimes they do have to fight once first. Okay, so we can give one of these to Show. Though we can also just give him his own morale. Maybe we give these to Nori. Maybe we give one to Noriko instead. I think let's give one to Noriko instead. That way, we have everyone sort of working towards, like, actual attacks, where Sho can just do it on his own. So it feels more relevant for him to be by himself. Then we can also send him up here. Yeah, we can send him this way. Right, he's got 8 movement. So if we're here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he can still get there in actual Billbind form. And this will probably keep him out of combat, which I don't mind. Even if he's dodgy, a stray 1% hit might just take him out of the fight, which is not what we want. Okay, so then you can attack here. Yes, this is fine. And Bullet having more morale is also better anyway. Like, we can switch into the Ryuko-Oh. Once we get up, like, once we're up close, we can switch in. And because we're post movement, then we can actually use our better attack then. Okay. No, I don't want to switch because that does end our turn. Here is a bullseye. I think we just go hard. I think we're gonna bullseye, flash, soul, and focus to try and keep us as survivable as possible. We'll have enough for soul on Bullet still, so I think this is fine. And we have a Valor on Kusuwa also in case something else goes amiss. But I think I want to apply as much damage as possible. Despite the fact that he is on what I'm going to assume is terrain that is healing him. Like, I have to imagine that the Colony Laser has HP regen on it. Yeah, so we can definitely, if we actually need to be on the colonizer, we can for sure do that next turn. Yeah, boss HP just has not gotten the memo yet for these games. How far away can we be? We can no, that is the farthest way we can be. No. You have a focus. That's not good. We also, historically, we've never actually needed to, like, succeed on the attack. Like, just as long as we enter combat, we should fight. Okay, yeah, they have dialogue. I think we need to talk. We need to attack first, then we can convince afterwards. Because if we can also, we have a good in if we can just have Puru move out of the way and move somebody else on it. So that conversation, Judo and Puru are trying to tell Puru too that, like, hey, like, I know this might be painful. I know you might not like me in particular or us in general. But surely that's better than being like Lemmy's puppet, right? Yeah, like, it bouncing off the guy field I don't think matters. Because we saw that text. Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness. If we didn't get her, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't even think we're going to use her, but, like, we may as well get all the characters. It is from the other tactics game player in me, but when they normally don't have an entire franchise's worth of characters in one game. Oh, we didn't do that side at all. Okay, sorry. That is absolutely my bad. We for sure should have done the left side first for the same reason it was last turn. I just really blanked and thought we had already done that for some reason. They call me a psychic then. Oh no, the irrigators are gonna come after me. Let's use this bullseye, and there's no way Seattle's gonna do enough. We're gonna need to chip that. Okay, the Combattler and the Voltase can go to town on our battleships. Clean up the Dovin Wolf on enemy phase. The Giant Robo can go between these two. The Dunbine can take out one of the others, and then I guess the Sizzler can, like, maybe chip this Bawoo for Ciala. We should have found out if we were chipping first or not. Like, do that. Yeah. Here's a bullseye. Here is a spirit. Oh, we're gonna take one more spirit. Though we maybe could have killed two other. It is possible we also could have killed two other enemies this turn for him. They didn't need to use the spirit, but it's fine. Oh, sure, that's a Gundam pilot. Whoops, didn't even know you were there. Sorry that you didn't really exist. Oops. Sizzler, you need to dial it back a little bit. Here's a bullseye. I'm kind of amazed how overleveled we are for this, but I guess because our team is so dense, it is really easy for our scaling to... Bummer. Okay, that's a shame. It is really easy for us to, like, outscale enemies because so many of our pilots are still, like, level 20 somewhere else. Yeah, even Marvel is... I did not really... I thought Marvel was underleveled. But no, she still has it. Okay. And then we're just saving her for Dawn's. Yeah, trying to get Bell to finding out whatever Bell's 150 SP total would be good. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I guess we can just try and one-shot these, can't we? Like, we could, yeah, I think we can try and do this. Do we have a Valor somewhere else that... We have both an Awaken and a Zeal now on the Combattler, which is why which is sort of what we were gunning for by using, yeah, we have this Valor here, okay. I just sort of assumed we were going to. This should be fine, yeah. This rendition of this song that I can't think of the title right now off the top of my head is so good. I kind of love this instrumental version of it. Is it on like a synthesizer, I guess? Do we want to spend these now? Let's spend one of them now. I think there's not really going to be much of a better time, because like even if we can force this early, yeah, I think we do this now, and then we can keep the we keep the Zeal. We use the Awakening now. We keep the Zeal for in the event that we are in a position where we need to get somewhere, you know, and not with the Combattler, but it's like in such a perfect place to take these battleships. Sweet. The Combattler music is still good, but like what song from Double Zeta was that? I don't remember. The like space operatic music is just, you can't beat it. Okay, so this will be a one-shot regardless of how much HP they have left. Oh, I guess we're gonna spend also another Confusion. We really can. We can just so dramatically overwhelm enemies at this point. Oh, we just don't have a Valor left. Okay, that was a little bit of an oversight on my part. That's fine. So we should be doing about 10,000 then. Well, in that case, let's just hit somebody else. Let's just hit like the Dovin Wolf instead. And get Ricard Dakar out here. And then we can let the Voltace handle the other battleship. I think like this is probably a better option then. Yeah, like this is maybe a little too cheery for our setting here. Oh, I remember what else I was thinking of. There is also double movement in this game, but we've just like yet to get a character to that point. Imagine how much more busted this would be if we just like had someone who was getting double movement. I think we probably could if we were like planning better and we used characters more consistently. Like, I was using Max for a little bit because I knew he had a pretty low threshold for that. I'm pretty sure Show is going to also. Like, we're not going to see it with the Combattler and the Voltace. With only 10 maps left, there's no way. They're like the mid-90s. Sweet. You still need a Valor, or not a Valor, a Spirit, but that's fine. I'm sure this team is still loaded down with SP. Are you doing anything important? No, you can use this Spirit. Okay. Then we need a Valor still. You have 2 you can use. Great. Also, I wanted to check here to see if we needed a Bullseye, and I forgot to actually check. We do not need a Bullseye. Good. What else do we need? Experience. That still leaves us with at least a Valor. Money. Oh, and they don't... Yeah, okay. Hopefully this kill will push them to the level where they also get access to their double turn actions. Most of those pilots are still missing one of their spirits. I have to imagine that if the Combattler has, the Voltace has it. Is that I don't think that's the difference between them. I'm pretty sure they've both had them in other games. I don't remember getting... Only the Combattler is in Complete 3. Voltace is not, if I remember correctly. One of them is. I'm pretty sure it's the Combattler. And I don't remember getting it to a high enough level to actually know what those spirits were. I wonder if they don't have the... Are there not combination attacks in this game? We talked about this last time. I don't have a good answer for that still. Cool. Though maybe I'm not being cautious enough. I do wonder if killing enough of these enemies... I wonder if killing enemies is going to be what triggers the flag for moving into reinforcements. No one got any of their spirits this time. Okay, maybe on one more level. Well, now you look a bit of a buffoon. I guess I'll just move you into the middle. But odds are the Combattler is going to be the one getting the 50 SP. Especially if it goes for everybody. Like, obviously if it goes for everybody, they always are the ones that get them. Yeah, like that. Oh, no. That's real bad. Okay. I think we're losing our support units. I wonder if this was the IFF they were talking about. Also, there's multiple ghouls. Real spooky. Let's see. Hold on, let me read this text quick and I'll be back. Okay. So, Dr. Hell has shown up in revenge. And our requisite cast is like, hi, do you understand what's happening right now? Like, are you not worried about the colony laser? And he's like, the colony laser is not part of my revenge plan. It does not matter to me if I get annihilated by it and I can still fulfill my revenge. It is worthwhile. I do like kind of how self-destructive Hell is. I wish we saw that a little bit more out of him. Just maybe not like at this immediate moment when we have people in a position where it's very easy for him to clean them up. Because when you turn the bullseye on, it's fine. Yeah, we still should have planned for a bullseye for this Dovin Wolf. I sort of expected it was going to go for Ciela or the Combattler, but it went for the Voltes. I guess probably because it knew the accuracy. But he brought with him some of the stuff he's been manufacturing. So I guess Big Fire is kind of here. Like, we know about them. Yeah, we for sure know about them because of Daisaku. But it feels like no one else ever includes them in their calculations. Also, is that top upside down? I've never thought about that before. Is that the right way is that the correct way to spin a Japanese top? Huh. Okay. I think I'd actually, you know what? This is probably more damage because we're getting like an extra 6 to 10. I don't remember if it's 3 or 5 from proximity. I think it's 3. I think it follows the same rules as accuracy. I think we're getting more damage out of being closer with this attack. Oh, also Glemmy did heal because he has question mark HP again. But this should... Oh, but we had a soul on to do that much damage, so this probably actually won't free up its spot yet. We will need someone else to take him out. But that's fine. We will make it just in time. Yeah. The matter is the rest of these enemies, though, but we can maybe ape some morale off of this. Okay, we actually don't show off this attack, I don't think, a lot, so let's do this, if I recall correctly. They have so many attacks. I would love to see more of them. There's just like, we need them to be at full power pretty badly. Also, we're at 119 morale with Kusuoff. I remember looking at it, so let's see if we actually get morale from landing hits. Yeah, I don't think we've seen this before. Or at least not recently. The Sonic Javelin's pretty cool. I've been watching Elden Ring PvP, and there's whatever that technique where you spin your sword around is called. I don't remember what weapon arts it is, but never mind any of that. No, this is from Judo. I mean, we will still take this. That's fine. Fortunately, his like inbuilt mobility is enough. Sorry, that's not nearly true. That's actually wildly untrue. It is a combination of this thing having its accuracy cut in half by confusion, a Haro, and him having a focus on. Never mind. I mean, his inbuilt mobility still helped us get that to 0 instead of like a low number, but that damage though is just base. We're just gonna dodge here. We don't actually want to, like, there's no reason for us to do damage to them. Okay, Alpha Azeru, please don't kill me. Okay, we're fine. You know what? Sure. He's landed 2 5% hits on us. It's so dumb. I wonder if there's some like auto hit skills that I'm not like aware of. I can look at Jolly Apple after this. Yeah, these are still 0s. This is just free for us. Though the Game Walks don't have... The Game Walks have over 10k, so we'll see how much we actually can do with this. I'm really glad I upgraded their energy last time. Okay, almost half. We're almost not gonna do that to the other one because that was a one range attack. But... yes. Okay. Yeah, this is the part that's probably going to like bite us in the butt. Okay. I think we are just gonna block the rest of this just to hope to live. Though I think Jun is the one that's most likely to go down from here. It's such a dirty play from Dr. Hell, which is very fitting, like very fitting. I'm not like upset by it. I'm just grumbling at myself for not planning for something that I didn't see. And if we have to, we have spirits that we can heal with. We have some of the I'm sure we have a trust somewhere or a faith. It's just that they're not going to be, they're going to like continue to not be safe in these positions. Okay. I'm amazed. I really did not think we were going to make that. Okay, we have this turn, so we got to do this now. Can we convince you now? Did we do something wrong? I wonder what I did wrong here. Maybe we got to fight twice? I believe we did have to fight twice in R. I guess let's see. I was gonna say we should see if we have more confusions. Okay, now is the time to figure out whether that SP bonus is applied to everybody on the team. So I'll be right back after figuring that out. Yes, in fact, it's everybody in the unit, so it's as good as it normally is. So we do have another confusion this turn if we want it. We can do it like on the Combattler or the Voltaise. Which we should apply, and I guess we should apply it sooner rather than later, because that will affect any of the combat we're going to do here. So I think let's do it on the Combattler. I think overall they are more useful. So we should do something with an Awaken first. Yeah, because they're the only ones going to overcap that. So we should do something with that Awaken first, or that Zeal first. Which I guess will, I guess we've got to plan out this turn more first. We probably have a clean kill. Oh, right, but we don't. Okay, so on one hand, we could have these goobers be who we're zealing. On the other hand, we could just clear the Alpha Azeru out with like the Dankugar, and then have them also shoot like Shalia Bull. Also, he only has new type level 5. That's just happening. Okay, great, cool. We can shoot. Yeah, so we could like clear out maybe both of these with a Zeal, and then just have them move in, and like they can clean up either the Alpha Azeru if it's not actually dead, or like one of these other like bits, which I do think I like. So to that point, then we are moving in with the Koryu-O, so we can have the dragon form also clean up something potentially. Though I guess it's not cleaning up anything. But we could just like have it attack here. What's our spirit situation looking like? We could focus and we still have 2 souls left. Okay, cool. That's some good free damage. So you have a focus on you. You do not. You do now. Okay, that is cool how those get transferred. That's pretty cool. Okay. Right, yes, we knew about this because we have a sniper we wanted. That said, if we're going to awaken them anyway, if we're going to zeal them anyway, we could just move in for the Dankukanken, I think is what it's called. Oh yeah, you have slightly more melee, or slightly more ranged, but like 3 points of difference is not going to make that much of a big deal here. That said, if we can take this battleship out, a lot of this is happening. Maybe we aren't going to confuse this turn. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just don't confuse this turn, and we just save it for another turn. I think the Venus is just going to go this way as much as possible after getting a trust from someone. I can spend Judo. I am fine with that. Oh, it's 70? Oh, that's so expensive. I'm a little less fine with that, but... What? Oh, is it everybody on the field? Oh, it's everybody on the field. Okay, never mind. I don't mind that being 70 now. Wild. Okay. Yeah, here's where having like a resupply would be really pretty sick. Where I regret not bringing a resupplier, not thinking about the Kabbalah and the Voltes having repairs in them. Okay, I will remember that about trust. I just like didn't even think to question it because I've never remembered trust to work like that, or never known trust to work like that. Or sorry, I keep saying trust. That spirit is called faith in this case. Okay, let's move you down to try to intercept. Yeah, I think we are better spent using our confusion in a future turn. Based on how much of this we got to like plan out now. Let's just not save it too long such that we don't actually get to use it at all. You know? I think this would warrant an Excel off of the giant robo. Because, like, that will work. Do we want to use a bullseye? I think I'm fine using a bullseye. It's close enough to some of the other supers. Like, this could pick up the other Great Mazinger and the Dragon and the Haribian. Yeah, I think this is fine. I was really hoping that that weird little, like, Teletubby, Humpty Dumpty, Asura robot was out of here, but no, it's still here. I wonder if we're gonna have more reinforcements, because Makube did not show up with this group. So I do want to try and play a little cautiously, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why we're maybe gonna save that confusion. Sweet. Oh, let me move this. I mean, obviously we're not getting any audio channel now, but the audio mixing for some of these explosions is so loud. I want to know if it's like coming through the microphone. Yes, it is. I'm so sorry, everyone, if that was through the microphone this entire time and you could hear it like double audioed. Okay. Then, well, hold on. I want some sound. And that is where we're going to end things for this week. I did not realize how close to 3 hours this recording got, so we're just going to cut it in half. It does mean that some of the things I say during next episode pertain to this week, which is a bit weird, so sorry about that. My schedule is usually how it works. We're going to do episodes up to 15 for Divine Wars for book club still for this week. Otherwise, same as usual. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to the continuation of this chapter for next week's alpha, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.